Hi, welcome back to the video. So today is Thursday the 16th of April. It's bang on 4 weeks since I've had surgery and it's almost 7:30 in the morning and I'm off to have the stent removed. Thank God. The worst part of the surgery for me has been having this stent. So the whole plan was to have stent removed after 4 weeks, but here in the UK there had been a doctor strike last week. So when I spoke to the hospital, because I wasn't receiving an appointment, they told me that there was going to be a 1 to 2 week delay to remove the stent, and literally I couldn't cope. Like, I rung the GP because the pressure of the stent on my bladder, like, I'm constantly having to go to the toilet. So I rung the GP to ask if there was a medication that they could prescribe me to stop me needing the toilet all the time. They weren't sure what they could give me, so they asked me to ring back the hospital and to speak to them and ask if they could prescribe me something or if they could advise the GP what to prescribe. So I called back the secretary and she said that, it's the symptoms of the stent. And I said, but I'm constantly needing to use the toilet or feel that I need the toilet. I think in the last month, like 4 weeks, I've left the house maybe 3 times because I just can't be too far away from a toilet. And so I asked if there was a tablet, and she said there is a tablet, but it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to kick in. So for me, it wouldn't be worth it, because by then the stent would come out. So she looked in the diary and she managed to, well, I think she's had to cancel someone else's appointment and she's fitted me in. So I'm going this morning to have the stent removed. I hope it's going to take this spasm off my bladder straight away. I hope I'm going to get instant relief, so I'll let you know. I don't know if everyone feels this feeling from a stent. I don't know if it depends how they've placed it or what. But from the surgery, I've recovered fine. My keyholes, they're healing nicely. No pain from the surgery. It's literally the discomfort of the stent. Not painful, but just constant urge to need the toilet. I find it worse in the morning and maybe more in the evening. I've been taking ibuprofen. I don't know if mentally, if I think that helps, but that seems to relax me a bit. But I need to sit down. As soon as I stand or anything, it makes me need the toilet. So I'm hoping today's procedure, removing the stent, I'm going to get instant relief, but I'll keep you posted on that. So according to the letter, the official name for stent removal is called a flexible cystoscopy under local anaesthetic. So that's the official name for the procedure. So I'm back from the hospital, so I'm just going to talk you through what happened at the urology clinic. So I went in. When I got called in, you go into the changing room, you have to undress from the waist down. You get called into the room. I sat down with the doctor. There was a couple of nurses in there, and she goes through the procedure. She said that the procedure is classed as a surgery, or she says the procedure is classed as a surgical procedure, so you have to sign a consent form. Then she stated that in the event that this stent doesn't come out, or that it has encrusted inside the body, that then it's a major surgical procedure to remove it, and you have to obviously come back. And I said, oh my God, don't tell me that. And she said, well, because yours has only been in 4 weeks, that probably hasn't happened. Yours should come out easy, but I have to warn you that could happen. And I was like, oh my God. So she says she just has to tell you that. So you have to get on the bed. The nurse cleans you up. Then the camera goes up. Then they put some tube in through the camera. She asked the nurse to turn the water on. So she put some gel up first, then the camera, then they spray some water up there. Then the most tiniest little tube or wire or something goes inside through the camera. Then she said to the nurse, okay, open it up. Then I felt what was like a real sort of tight, pulling, burning sensation. And that's when the nurse said to me, take a deep breath. And just as I took a deep breath, I just felt that pull literally for a split second. And she went, right, okay. And it was done. And I said, what, it's out? And it was out. It was out so quickly. So for a split second, you feel a bit of discomfort, but it was done so quickly. And she goes, yep. And she showed me the stent. It was probably about 20 centimetres long, a blue wire, I suppose. I don't know what it's made of. About 20 centimetres long, but it was so thin. And then it had the coils either end. And I said, I can't believe that is what has caused me so much grief for the last month. But it was out. She said that you may still have symptoms for a couple of days after. You may have bleeding after. But from when I laid on the bed and I had the urge to go to the toilet, I got up off the bed, went and got changed, started walking out of the clinic, and that urge that I had before, it'd gone. I didn't even need to go to the toilet. So, you know, it was a quick procedure. Sounds scary at first when they say it might get stuck and it might not come out. A few seconds of discomfort, but they put it out so quick and it was done. And the relief that you feel afterwards. I have now got a slight pain in my left side. I take it where it's just been pulled out of the urethra tube. Now that tube maybe is just a bit tender at the moment. So I have got some pain in my left side. Nothing too unbearable, but there is a sort of a dull pain now in my left side. I don't know how long that will last for. But I take it because something's just been pulled out of there. So now that is just adjusting. But I've been to the toilet fine, but that urgency has gone. I'll see how the rest of the day goes. But yeah, I was not looking forward to stent removal, but actually a few seconds of discomfort, but it's quite easy. So there's the update. Next step now is a MAG3 scan, 3-4 months. And then she said I'll be called for an appointment to discuss those results, which, well, last time it took 2 months after scan to get those results. So we'll see. So for now, all's good. Just carry on as normal. And we'll see in a few months if the surgery was successful. So I hope you've found these few videos helpful. I know a few people have left me some messages and said it was just reassuring to see these videos because they've got the surgery coming up. So I hope you've, for those that are interested, have found these videos helpful. And yeah, if you've got a pyeloplasty surgery due, the surgery itself, it's all fine. Stent is a personal thing, whether you feel discomfort, but actually it's not a bad procedure, nothing to be nervous about. It's a pretty straightforward thing, and recovery's pretty easy to go through. It's just a bit of bladder discomfort, that's all. So yeah, I'll maybe see you in a few months' time with an update and let you know that it was successful. But they told me it's a 90% success rate, so hopefully there should be no further procedure needing to be done. So it's actually been a couple of months since I posted that last clip. I'm sorry the video up until now hasn't gone out, but I just wanted to add one last update before I posted the video. So when I last spoke to you on that last clip, I said I was getting a bit of pain on my left side. Well, that pain turned into about 4 days of what I describe as my kidney pain, quite severe pain. They never told me I would get that, but I was in really bad pain for about 4 days, where I had to use the hot water bottle to try and give me some relief. I didn't contact any doctor or anyone, but I believe it was just the inflammation of the stent coming out. And since then, I have not had such bad kidney pain like I used to have. I've had a couple of occasions where maybe in the evening I've had some slight pain, but nothing like I used to have. I've Googled it, and Google says that it was normal after surgery to still feel some pain because you're still recovering. To be honest, maybe in the last month I haven't felt anything at all. Some foods, like I couldn't eat halloumi before I had the surgery. Things like halloumi would trigger my pain, even though urologist said food wouldn't do that, but it did. I would be in pain for at least a week after eating something like halloumi. I've eaten that since my operation and I was fine. I haven't had any pain like I would be for a week with bad kidney pain. So I just wanted to add this update onto the end of the last clips. I still haven't heard a future date for my MAG3 scan, so I'm still waiting for that. But I just wanted to add this clip on to let you know those few days after the stent. You might get pain like I did, you might not. So yeah, I'll see you guys when my MAG3 scan is due or when I'm about to have it done. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.